Cheers to episode 165.
You're drinking wine?
Cheers.
I have a little bit of wine. I made a drastic change tonight.
You made it yourself.
No.
You stomped the grapes in the backyard.
I stomped grapes on the
I was
porch.
watching a show on Netflix about like these people in jail or whatever. Do you know they make like their own wine in jail called hoochie?
Hoochie Mama?
I think they need to come up with a better.
They like get a plastic bag and like put like the crust of bread in the bag with like water and like leftover like fruit or something.
They get yeast.
And they just like let it sit for like for like Evan's right on it. Evan, have you made hoochie?
Sounds like I need to.
And then they like let it go for like a month, and they're all drinking out of these like red Solo cups, getting all hammered off this disgusting shit. I was like, God, it's tough being in jail.
Sign me
they
up.
find ways. They smoke coffee cigarettes.
Did it look better than a
They roll
9 to
up
5?
coffee. Sometimes, I wonder, like, how would jail be?
Who do you think would miss you the most if you went to jail?
No one. To be honest, if I was in jail, I don't think anybody would really, like, it would impact anybody.
I think it would.
Not really. I live out here by myself.
Yeah, I can think of one person, though, that'd be pretty torn up about it.
Okay.
Alex, you had sparkling water. Evan, you had water.
Just got home.
Yeah.
Set it down.
This is mineral water, actually, it says.
Mineral water. Tonight,
Sparkling natural mineral water. How can it be natural and mineral?
it's a lot of
I can't even say
adjectives.
show doc anymore. This is a
This is a
You don't
disaster.
know, Evan. I never.
Well,
thought
Evan,
that.
we'll walk.
applications for a new spot.
Evan, I will share my screen. We'll get through this together. Tonight is Monday, April 29th, 2024. The time is 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central. And I dare to say it, guys. I dare to say it.
Don't.
Summertime in Michigan is here.
Oh.
We've turned the corner on weather. We've done it.
I don't really care if Grant says it anymore because it won't affect me, but
Fucking live there. It's welcome.
it will not work out well in your favor.
Evan,
I did look at the weather for you guys. It looks great.
That's what I'm
Not
saying.
until
Nice.
Memorial Day. The weather does look pretty decent.
It's the high.
70s.
The high is like the lowest for the high is like 63, 65. I'll take that any day.
Things are looking up.
Quarter zip.
70, 75,
Dry
74,
fit, long
74,
sleeve.
73, 71, 72, 69, 73. The next 10 days.
Summertime.
82,
in
82,
northern
85, 87,
Michigan.
84, 85, 89, 90.
Too hot.
90.
We're the
I got
better
a little
weather state,
sunburn. I got a little
Alex.
sunburn yesterday golfing.
Did you?
You think it's too warm here, Grant?
Yeah.
You think the low of 75 every day is not low enough?
No, I do. Well, I've never lived in a place like that, but I think maybe you would agree that the consistency of it, you don't get that feeling that we get when it's the first warm
There's no
day.
big rush of like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
it's nice out. Yeah, you don't have that because it's just nice every day.
Yeah.
But I'd still take that over the bitter cold.
Evan, we're going to have to get you, whenever you have a free weekend, get you up to the pool up here. They're doing renovations at the pool at our apartment. It looks spectacular, the model. I don't know if it's going to end up being like that, but we're talking a turfed area with cornhole boards, a ping pong table.
We allowed to drink in this
And-
pool area.
I'm pretty sure.
You can drink in mine.
Subtly. And
Heavily.
we can have
Subtly. Grant, why would it be
Heavily,
subtly?
subtly.
You're adults.
red solo
You live
cups.
there.
We can have up to 4 total people. So each resident gets 2 guests to the pool
I live there.
at a time. So Evan lives there. So
I don't think they're going to police that.
I think the first Saturday that it's open, it's going to be probably unusable
I've seen
with
the
the amount of
clientele
people.
of your apartment building. You guys will be the only ones there.
Tonight's show, what we're going to get into, a little thing called the NFL Draft, Evan's favorite sporting event of the entire calendar year. Isn't that right, Evan?
I have a really bad confession to make. Really bad. Really
You didn't watch
any
it.
of it.
I hate myself.
Do you even know who we picked?
Are we on that? Are we doing our weekly recaps, or are we just jumping right into it?
I mean, I
setting
think
up the
we
show.
could skip Grant's like setup because it's
I'll
the
wait
most
until we
lame
start
part of the
talking
show.
about
No one listens to.
The draft. When
All right.
when I break my biggest confession.
Stay tuned. That's a good tease. I might have to cut that sniffle out. That might have ripped through some eardrums right there. The NFL draft in Detroit, record crowds. We'll get into the scene there. Any funny moments? The draft, really, after watching, there's always great internet moments that live on forever from the draft. That's one of the underrated things of that weekend. Then we'll get into our team, the Lions specific draft class, answer some questions and some thoughts about that. And then the only other thing I have on here is just an NBA NHL playoff update. There really wasn't that much. There was some late breaking news today that you guys probably won't care about. Michigan did finally get the FAU center to commit, and they processed a backup guard, George Washington III, to leave the program. So they have one scholarship spot remaining right now. We'll see what happens. For those listening, May 1st is the deadline, but I read a tweet today that you could still see people go in the portal on the 2nd because it takes 48 hours to process. So keep your head on a swivel. But once we get through this week, there for football and basketball, there should be no more portal entries. It should all be done. So we almost made it through the twister of a season for the two sports. That's pretty much it. Alex, weekly check-ins. What'd you do this week? Anything of note? Probably some golf. If I had a bet, minus 500, Alex golfed.
Keep it pretty brief here. Thursday, simulator golf league.
Yes.
And
cash that ticket.
Only notable moments from that. We won longest drive and closest two. So you get a 6-pack bucket of Michelob each time you win one. So a lot of Michelobs.
Wow. Did you get any of those? Like, were you the shot?
Nope.
Oh.
Well, longest drive is combined. Your team combined. Balls in the fairway.
Oh. Did you put one in the fairway?
Nope.
Oh, so you did not contribute to that.
Correct. Did not contribute. But drank the Michelobs. Watched the drafts. It makes me realize I want a golf simulator in my house one day if I ever make enough money. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty nice.
Don't forget us.
I won't. Saturday did not do anything.
Nothing?
At all. I did not do anything. Just like routine chores, laundry, grocery shop. Evan's favorite thing.
If you veg, do you veg in that bedroom there, or do you veg in the living room?
No, I don't. I don't spend much time in this room other than on this podcast and sleeping.
And
no. And then Sunday I played golf outside.
Outdoors. Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what I do every week.
Normal golf.
How good are you right now? Like, what is your handicap on 18 birdies?
I don't know about 18 birdies. I don't use that, but my handicap is an 8. An index of 8. I don't know what that translates to handicap wise. Depends on the course. It's about the same as it's always
What are your
been.
goals this summer for golf? Or is this year, I guess, because you play year round? Like, you're playing a lot of golf consistently. I think we need to hold you accountable to what we're trying to accomplish out of this.
What do you guys think I should try to accomplish?
5 handicap.
Get good.
Getting good would be good.
5 handicap.
I think 5's attainable.
I think your real goal should be honestly
I don't
like
practice though.
you're out there playing and then you have one bad hole and then your mindset is like, well, I don't really care anymore. Then you give up after that. No, you shouldn't have any of those moments.
I think I've gotten better. I've been
You
playing
think
more.
mentally, like after you shank your chip shot from greenside, you give up after that moment. You got to persevere for your double bogey and bounce back.
So recently in my rounds, I have not been making much worse than a bogey. So I've been pretty steady. I've been able to.
This dude is so good at golf.
This Sunday, I go bogey 8 and 9 to shoot 39. So it's a tough finish on the front. Shoot 39. Then on 10, I hit a good drive, like pick up the tee drive. One bunker in the fairway. I'm like, I carried that. No worries. I didn't even look. I get up there. It's just in the bank, like it's like 2 inches from carrying, and it's just fried egged in the side of this bunker.
I like that term, fried egged.
Yep.
I can picture that. Like. Sunny side up.
Oh boy. This is when, you start getting angry. Mm-hmm. So I have to take a wedge shot from my knees backwards to get it out of the bunker.
Strict rules. I would have let you drop.
There's money on the line. Let's play for money. So then I punched it out. I tried to get it out of the bunker backwards. Stays in the bunker. Then hit it out of the bunker. I make a triple bogey. Let's just move on from there. It's tough. Like Evan said, got to move on. Go to 11. Par 3. 225-yard par 3.
Hole in one.
It's rainy. It's windy. No, I didn't break it.
Why are you playing in the rain?
I was just thinking that.
What are we doing?
It just started raining.
Evan, you can't talk. You played in
the weather.
Snow.
You played in 30 degrees.
Yeah, but there was no rain. It snowed earlier that morning.
It was sprinkled for a few minutes. It happened to be on this hole. I hit it.
You're sunny year round. We get 4 months of golf.
Well, you're right. Whatever. Still committed. Hybrid 220. Come up just short in the bunker on the right. Get up there. Fried egged again. I mean, you can't write a worse script. It's again just straight down. So once again, I have to swing as hard as I physically can just to get this ball to move. Barely gets out. Now I'm in a high rough, on the top of this bunker. It's
chipping
barely out. Yeah. Just can't even see the ball. You're looking down, it's just disappeared in the rough. Hit it out. I have 25 feet. Made the putt, Evan. So I made the putt, made bogey, and I got out of bogey. I probably did a casual pump because it was to tie the hole. I was all right. And so, I think my perseverance is growing as a golfer because 5 years ago, if that just 2 fried egg stretch happens, I'm chucking clubs. There's no doubt.
Chucking clubs.
You're yelling at somebody,
and I'm saying
not yourself. You're blaming it on somebody. You're dragging somebody into your deep, dark hole.
Evan, I feel like you're lashing out because you had a bad day today, and I don't think that's
I'm
fair,
not lashing out. I'm just speaking. I've watched enough golf with you that I know what happens.
If I'm playing with my dad, I will blame it. Yes.
I have no idea how mad I am right now.
I will blame Garrett Gillen for my golf mistakes. But he knows that.
I just got a mental image of Wyatt chucking a club once during a round. It was so funny.
Talk about a temper on the golf course.
So funny.
That kid loses it.
It was one fluid motion. Finished his backswing, dropped the club out of his left hand, and just threw it in his right. And then just proceeded to walk forward to pick it up.
It's a frustrating sport.
Evan, your confession, your week, anything notable?
Questions not coming yet. This week been busy. Baseball. Baseball Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday was off. Saturday, baseball on Saturday. Sunday was off. And then I just got back from baseball today.
Question.
Answer.
Is baseball the biggest grind of a sport you have coaching?
Yes. Because
it feels like it.
Because currently right now I help coach or am coaching or am the head coach of 3 different teams. So I have a game every single day this week besides Sunday. JV games today, freshman games tomorrow, JV game Wednesday, freshman games Thursday, travel baseball Friday, freshman games Saturday.
When you're writing out the lineups, do you ever write a name from a different team on it?
I don't, because luckily I am I'm an assistant coach for 2 of the teams, so I don't have to worry about the lineups. My travel team I'm the head coach for, and I have not. I misspelled some of their names wrong last week when we played, so I had to redo it even though I've had the same kids for the last 6 years.
Have you ever gotten kicked out of any of these games?
I have not, no.
I feel like you're due.
I feel like I want to do.
It's a lot of volume. Like just the sheer amount of games you've been a part of.
I came close. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago at Sylvania. I came close during the tournament.
What'd you say?
He just gave me 2 warnings. They were just horrendous at calling the game. So I did. That was last week. Draft was Thursday. I had a doubleheader Thursday. I had to sprint home. I missed the opening monologue, wherever Roger Goodell and all that. I missed the whole beginning of that. I didn't get the TV on until basically it was like the pick was in for the Bears.
Is that the confession?
No, not yet. Friday, yep, Saturday. And then Sunday I played golf. It was extremely nice this weekend. So I went out and played 18 holes Sunday afternoon.
I was going to say, did it rain in Tecumseh in the morning? It was dumping rain here on Sunday morning. I was going to go hit my driver, but it was dumping rain, so I thought that meant there was other plans for me that day.
Sunday? I don't think it did.
Something funny out?
Saturday it did.
The way you said that was funny.
We did, and then we were supposed to have a doubleheader on Saturday, but the umps, the whole debacle of umpires. Like, if you like baseball and you feel like, hey, I need a couple extra cash, and you're not doing anything, please sign up to be an umpire, because there is a extreme shortage, and I didn't think it would ever happen. But we've had games. Let me just say this: Thursday we had 0 umpires show up. We had to do varsity players had to do the second game. The varsity head coach was the lone umpire for the field by himself on Thursday. Saturday we waited an extra hour because we were waiting for the umpire.
Ugh. Disgusting. People don't want to work these days.
Yep. So that's about it. Other than that, nothing's really too exciting out there. I can't think of anything that was life altering.
Before your confession, that reminds me, the umpire shortage has plagued people for generations. There was a game, I think maybe I was playing in. It was Little League, but we got moved to the softball field of Mitchell Park, and there was no field umps stepping up. They had a home plate ump. He wanted a field ump. And who raises their hand? My mom, of all people. She's like, I'll do it. If none of these dads want to do it, make it a point. If none of these dads want to do it, I'll do it. Has no idea what she's doing. One of the funnier things, I think I'm remembering this right. Maybe she'll correct me if I'm wrong if she hears this. But she was like first base and play was bang, bang. And I think it just froze her brain. She went, safe. Audibly said safe, but did an out fist. And I think everyone just kind of looked back and forth at each other like, what are we rolling with there? She's like, out. I think I've always made fun of her about that.
Were you laughing about it, or were you serious? I can't believe this is happening.
I think I was laughing. I think I was. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I was. I think I was playing. I can't. Maybe it was my sister's game and I was watching. I don't know, but it was. I remember that. No.
On our little Riverside thing, It says 3 people in stream, 1 in audience with an airdrop emoji.
It did that. It did that last week. I don't know what that is.
Someone's airdropping in and watching us live.
No. Oh my god! I forgot the biggest thing.
Are you sure, Grant? It kind of stresses me out.
Sorry, Grant. Before your week, I forgot the biggest thing. Taco Bell's forever dead to me, Alex. It's over. It's the worst restaurants of all time.
You don't have to tell just me. It's Grant's.
It's dead.
Too. It's both of them. It can't be dead, Evan. It's not. It's kind of your fault for not going back to get what they didn't give you.
I'm in a rush. I am driving 55 down the boulevard to get home by 8 o'clock.
2 feet from Taco Bell.
That's how much time it was. Sweetest old lady ever. This lady had to be 85. She was definitely somebody's great grandmother working the window at Taco Bell.
That's tough. You can't put it all on Taco Bell's
Bag was so heavy because of how much amount of food I got. And then I got home and I opened it up and they just gave me 2 beef burritos instead of my. I ordered a crunch wrap.
That's all you had in there. 2 beef burritos.
They replaced. I got the crunch wrap meal, so it comes with a soft taco, and I got a chalupa with it, cheesy whatever it is. And instead of my crunch wrap being in there, they gave me 2 beef burritos. I don't know even how that happens. How does that happen?
Did you get the chalupa?
I don't. Yeah, no, I know. I don't know what it was. Cheesy gordita crunch.
What was in your bag? What did you end up
This
getting?
is what I pulled out first. Pulled out the soft taco first. No, the regular taco that came with the meal, the hard shell taco. Down that in 4 seconds. Then I was like,
you ate that first?
Yes, I eat the worst items first. And then
you get full by the good ones.
The chalupa or cheesy gordita crunch, whatever. I think it's the cheesy gordita crunch.
It's a big difference. There's a big difference between the two.
I got the cheesy gordita crunch. I ate that second, and I'm digging into the bag again, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like a crunch wrap. Pull it out, burrito, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go back in there. Get my hand back in there. I was like, this feels like the same thing. No shit. 2 beef burritos.
Did you eat them?
One of them. That's what I had. Cheesy gordita crunch. I ate one of those bad boys.
I thought our viewer was popping in right there. It kind of freaked me out.
Dude.
Our special guest. Yeah, so I'm done with Taco Bell. It's over. I don't care about it anymore.
No. The new Cantina menu, Evan, is nice. It's really good.
I'm not getting chicken from Taco Bell. I don't want the small 1% chance that it kills me.
I mean, Evan, I've eaten it so many times in my life, and I haven't died.
Alex, ground up. Just give me the ground up horse meat, and I'll be moving on with my day.
Dude, I probably had I don't know how much chicken is in like an average quesadilla.
Thousands of pounds of chicken from quesadilla.
I've probably had at least like 250 pounds of Taco Bell chicken in my life.
I just don't trust it. I don't trust the chicken. Just give me
more than that.
No, because like one visit, you probably have a pound of chicken. I haven't been to Taco Bell 1,000 times in my life.
I don't know.
Alex, that's 3 full years. Like if you went for every day for 3 years. I haven't done it that many times.
26 full years of life. I think I've probably been to Taco Bell.
You did not eat Taco Bell in the first 5 years of your life. There's no way
I didn't start eating Taco Bell till I was like in high school. Consistently.
My mom likes Taco Bell, so I had it.
You weren't eating chicken though. You weren't having the chicken quesadilla and a Baja Blast.
In the last 5 years, I've probably been to Taco Bell. There's 152 weeks in a year, or 52 weeks in a year.
Yes, there's 152 weeks in a year.
52 weeks in a year. I probably had it 250 times in the last 5 years. At least.
Yeah. So 5. All right. So
maybe at least
you're like 500. Maybe you're 500 pounds of chicken.
Twice a week.
I mean, I'm averaging.
Well, Taco Bell.
There's a chance I've had it once a week. On average.
You're a terrible human being.
Evan, once again.
Was it the Tecumseh Taco Bell, Evan, that you got it from?
Yes, it was.
That's disappointing. I've only had good experiences there. I would like to think that the workers there were better than that. Give them another chance. Give it 2 months and give them another chance.
2 months.
Late night after Mucks.
I haven't had that place since I think last golf season when we went there, Alex. A couple times after golf.
That was a bad experience.
That was the last time I had it.
Didn't have any food.
Last time I had it.
I think the common denominator here is you.
How good was that cheesy gordita crunch, though? Like, let's be honest.
It's going to be me. It's not me. I think he's frozen.
I don't know what Grant said at all.
I think Grant's frozen.
I don't know what he said.
Did I cut out?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Robot.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, but how good was that cheesy gordita crunch, though? Like, come on, Evan, let's be honest.
Grant.
Oh.
There wasn't enough.
Evan.
The last half, I bit into it. Okay, then take another bite and then another bite. And then by the 4th and 5th bite, there was no meat. It was just shell and cheese. What
about that creamy white sauce?
I didn't even know there was sauce in it.
What? It's like the staple part of the gordita crunch.
Didn't even know. I'll tell you what,
They sell it
they effed
by the
up.
bottle.
My 2 tacos of that taco that I had so much sour cream in it. It made me.
You got a
It made me
Supreme.
gag.
You
I
got
spit
some
out some of it.
Primo.
Supreme taco, Evan? God damn.
That's what it came with. It just, I don't know. I just ordered the crunch wrap meal. Number 3, please.
Well, you had an 85-year-old trying to get your order, and she got confused.
Sure. You got someone else's order. What's your confession?
I'm not waiting. I'm waiting until the Lions draft class. I'm waiting for after.
Okay.
It's probably just he doesn't like the draft picks again 2 years in a row.
Maybe, but there was no Michigan players this time, so I feel like he'll be more likely to enjoy it.
There was no Michigan players last year.
McCarthy got drafted this year. What are you talking about?
The Lions.
Let's see. What did I do overall? Thursday, I watched the draft. Friday, got Culver's. They did not mess up my order.
So good. Culver's is so good.
I had burgers throughout the week, so I did not get their burger. I got their buffalo chicken tenders. Very good. They do chicken well there.
That's what I hear, but I'm never going to change my order there.
Closest Culver's to me is 20 miles away.
Worth it. Every single second of that drive.
Maybe.
That's a 30-minute drive, Evan.
It's worth it.
I don't think that is.
I got cheese curds, but next time I want to experiment with more of their sides. I heard their coleslaw is not bad. I feel like I would like their coleslaw. They also have chili, but it's a little warm for chili right now, so I don't think I'll be getting that anytime soon. And then I got a medium or small, one of those sizes. Concrete mixer, of course.
What'd you get?
Still, I panicked in a way. It was very busy in there. They put me on the spot. I did chocolate ice cream with the Reese's add-in. That's my favorite. Like just a fastball down the middle. But the flavor of the day was salted caramel pecan, which sounded fantastic. And looking back, I wish I got that. Well, actually, Evan, I take that back. I do stand with you. They did mess up my concrete mixer. They gave me vanilla ice cream with the Reese's add-in, which was fine. It still tasted good.
Because vanilla is better. Yes.
But no, chocolate with Reese's would be better, but it was still good.
I'd rather take that. I would take that mess up than the mess up that I had.
Beef burritos.
Yeah, it was good. And then Saturday, this weekend was spring cleaning day. I think between Marissa and I, we threw away like 6 or 7 trash bags worth of stuff. Some like donation stuff, some like just junk that we don't need. So that felt good. Rearranged my entire closet. I know Alex is a big rearranges room and belongings guy, so felt good to do that.
No.
I took a different side of the closet. I made a trade. I think I won the trade on draft weekend. I don't know exactly, but I like my setup now better than it was. So,
Grant, it's not about winning and losing when you're in a relationship with someone you love.
It always is.
The closet space was a little bit about who's getting the short end of the stick here. It was high level negotiations for a good 15 minutes about where clothes were going.
I wasn't a part of that.
It was civil. I think we were both ready for a change in the closet. I think we were ready for that. And then
it was fascinating.
Underrated restaurant that we don't talk about a lot that needs to be talked about more. P.F. Chang's.
I don't know if
P.F. Chang's,
P.F. Chang's, I'll be honest.
P.F. Chang's.
It's good.
Slaps. Got that on Saturday night. Ate that for Sunday lunch as well. Because the portion sizes were massive. And then, since it was summertime, enjoyed some combined spicy and margarita together there. Spicy margaritas on the deck. Why did you make that face?
Tough to get through there.
Spicy margaritas.
Internet is for people.
Because I only have 4 core processors. Delicious. Trader Joe's. If anyone has a Trader Joe's near them, they have a fantastic jalapeno limeade juice mix that makes the perfect spicy margarita. So good.
You know how to find everything.
Me?
Versus crafty.
It seems like you have all the
give Brad
drinks,
too
all the
much credit.
sauces. You guys hit all the
It's,
restaurants. I just go to the typical peanut butter and jelly on a Wednesday night. Cry myself
We're
to sleep.
talking
I'm just a big Chipotle guy.
roughly between 4 times per day is the average, I would say. I get sent either a variety of TikToks or Instagram reels of different recipes from Marissa. Some of them she's just
Correct.
saving for
I
herself,
knew it was her.
but just a lot of them. Actually, the Trader Joe's spicy margarita came from my cousins when we went to Kentucky. They said you should try that limeade, and it was good. Sunday, just
Trader Joe's is for rich people, bro.
No, it's
Can't go
cheaper than
there.
Meijer. We've done the case studies. We go there every week. We go to both of them every week, and I can tell you that I walk out of Trader Joe's with a lot of groceries, and it does not add up as fast as Meijer. Also depends on what you're buying. You know, if you're buying like pre-cut chicken as opposed to just raw chicken breasts, it's obviously going to be
Who's
pricier.
buying pre-cut chicken?
I don't know. Some people like they have that at Trader Joe's, but it costs you a lot of money to buy that stuff. So you just buy the normal stuff, and it's as cheap as anything.
Nothing's cheap in Joe Biden's economy.
Amen, brother.
You're not gonna go down that road, but you're right. All right, let's get into the NFL draft. Before we get into what the Lions did specifically, the crowds in Detroit were record breaking. It was, I think, I remember where I was. It was Thursday. I was leaving the gym. I was like looking at Twitter right when I got in the car, or maybe I turned on YouTube TV to one of the channels while I drove home because it was getting close to when the official broadcast started, and they showed the first drone shot. And I think I was like, holy shit, that is just an enormous amount of people. And I couldn't get over, like I got home, turned on the TV, and I was like just in awe of how many people were packed into that square. And then you see the notifications that they shut down entryway to the gates of that footprint. That was insane. My question for you guys is, because I was immediately talking about this with Marissa, and we were FaceTiming her dad. Do you wish you were there to be a part of that event?
No.
You got a head shake no from Alex. Evan?
I think it'd been cool just to say you were, but
the problem is, like, once you're in there,
it's freaking Thursday night. Sucks.
like,
Lives.
like at a concert, like at Faster Horses, you get in there and then you just stand for 5 hours, but you're like watching music. It's engaging. I feel like the draft is probably not like that. You're in there, you're standing. There's way more. It seemed like there was way more people. What do you do if you have to pee? Can you get drinks in there? How do you get to them? And then in between picks, you're listening to like a couple like random people like talk, and it's just like it's boring.
Yeah.
It's just not like super exciting. I mean, shout out to all the people that went, but like that just doesn't. I was perfectly content not being there.
Yeah. Not to just, you said it very well. I do want to reiterate that point. I'm thankful for all the people that went to do that for Detroit on the big stage, because that was cool. I feel like it was a big weekend for the city. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe if I talk to people that went, they'd be like, it was awesome. I just know myself, and like, I'm not claustrophobic, but I don't like feeling like I'm trapped with my elbows in my sides in a crowd. And that looked like that to the extreme. And like you said, the payoff is just watching Roger Goodell walk to a podium and read off a name off a card. And then I think they do the interviews and they play music in between picks, which is probably fun if they're playing loud music and stuff. But I just don't think the entertainment would have been worth the logistics for myself. So I didn't really have that much regret, even though we were only like 40 minutes away from it, of not getting down there for it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't even like at Faster Horses, but when you go in super early and you're like hour 4, I'm like, yeah, I'm about done in here. Like it's almost
bad knees going.
Wait any longer. Yeah, I got bad knees. They do start hurting bad. It's just
from the
not worth it.
From the weekend, obviously the crowd shots were a big deal. Were there any viral clips, funny moments, anything that stood out as you were watching any of the coverage this weekend or perusing social media, Alex, did you also re-download Twitter for this weekend or no?
No.
No.
I'm not a big like draft psycho like the rest of our friend group. I think I like the draft. I like to see where people go, but like I don't need to see it as it's happening.
I think there's that one clip of who got drafted. I think the one clip from family that was, I think, an LSU player. And then the reporters trying to ask him, like, how far has his family come? And then the mom was like, from Baton Rouge.
Oh my God, yes, that was a
just
good
from
one.
like distance-wise, not like where you've like...
Came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Someone at work from Baton Rouge said that like people are like viewing that incorrectly or something. Like she was basically like saying that to mock them because they were like a rich family and like they're totally fine and they haven't come that far. So she was like saying that as like a get back at them. So there you go.
That's a behind story then.
How do those people from Baton Rouge know that part? That lady from Baton Rouge?
Because this guy who I know from there knows a lot of people from there. And he went to his high school was on LSU's campus.
Still a viral clip. Never forget.
Still a viral clip, and I just thought that was interesting.
Oh yeah, I have it here. Let me pull this up. I bookmarked a bunch because I was laughing. Some of them.
It's awesome. That's all I can tell you. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
Sandra, how far has this family come? We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
It does look bad though.
The ones from the Lions, just anything Terry Arnold said the next day in his hat, so good. Do you guys want to listen to it? I forget what he said in this one. Is it choppy when I play them, or can you actually hear it?
We can hear them, but we can't. Yeah,
it's like the Nestor Cortez video.
Put my hat on, man. One pride. Went to sleep last night a lion. Woke up a lion. One pride, man. Let's get to work.
And then, this one. Did you see this one, Alex?
Oregon, tackle Arizona. 3 years starter.
I feel like this guy did it for the cameras because he knew the camera was on him.
That doesn't look good.
As well, at guard, so the versatility is there.
Jordan Morgan, the Michigan center, got drafted. That is crazy.
Yeah, I sent it to Connor. He goes, "Who is that guy?" I said, "That's Jordan Morgan, dude." We had the owner of the Panthers taking a grown man's hat off as he entered the store.
Saw that one. You said
about a sign. Just the most disrespectful, subtle disrespectful.
There's only a matter of time this guy gets run out.
Kicked out.
Yeah.
But they have a nice little bonding moment at the end.
Yeah. It's just so weird. So insecure that you own a team and like a
during the season
fan.
he threw a bunch of drinks on fans.
Yeah, no, he's a bad.
This guy has a temper because he doesn't know how to run a successful organization and gets mad at people making fun of him for not being able to run a successful organization.
You nailed it.
His 3 best players he's ever had. 1, he got rid of.
Scholarship chart.
Gave up on him. 2, retired early because of injuries. And 3, completely just traded the best running back in football the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah. You guys stand up for CMC.
That's right. Running back in the... Not today. That's not the conversation for today.
Did you guys see this tornado over the weekend, too?
That is a while. In 20 years? I don't know. Potentially.
Jameer Gibbs.
John Alexander.
Gibbs gang.
LT.
Theo Riddick in his prime.
Alex, Christian McCaffrey threw for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and ran for a touchdown in the same game.
Zach Zenner.
In college.
That was against the Rams.
He did that in the NFL, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's best is better than everyone else's best.
We're not having this.
I'll go to the grave saying
Grant.
I'll go to the grave saying
I don't need to watch this entire tornado video.
This was my favorite one. KOC.
Wow, really?
That's your old boss.
Really?
It's just so funny.
There were so many
great
good memes
meme
about this.
Really?
Really?
It was like when I come back from the bathroom and draft a player that actually is worth something.
Really?
Yeah, that was the context. I went and found the clip, and it's Quasi gets off the phone. He goes, "We're getting the edge from Alabama. We're getting Dallas Turner," and he goes, "Really?
Really?
just pure amusement from the trade that his GM made. It was so good. Those are the main ones, really. Did you actually end up seeing the clip, Evan, from the intro of the Lions players, or did you not go back and see it?
I saw Aiden Hutchinson up there look like a goon, so I just skipped through it. And I was like, I don't watch this.
I saw
It
that
was-
video as well.
It was very
I saw
uncomfortable.
the Amon-Ra sitting
It
around
was-
trying to get the crowd to do Jared Goff.
Yeah, that was fine, but like everyone else felt really forced, and it was Roger Goodell makes things cringy too. It was just very uncomfortable and forced. But I saw the backstory was though that the NFL told the players not to say anything into the mic because they're just trying to get the show on the road. But Amon-Ra said, "Roger, I need to say something into the mic," and he let him. So that's what started, and then all the other players felt like they had to say something too. And I think that's why it came off very cringy Hutch in general was just trying way too hard.
It was just him, honestly, that made me uncomfortable.
For our class, well, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do draft thoughts as a whole and then the lines?
Confession first.
Can we just get
Confession.
Evan's confession?
Confession.
Yes.
Draft is one of my favorite nights of the year, hands down. Just everything about it, the process of it. I just want to sit in the draft room because I think it's one of the best things that can happen in sports. You're building your future. You mess up your future right here because other grown men think other people are better than other people. Basically what it turns out.
Yeah.
I'm running high. Just got a stomach full of Taco Bell, ice cream. Beers have been happening as soon as Kirk Cousins gets screwed over. Chilling out on the couch. Turns into leaning back in a lazy boy. I'm by myself. I'm watching it by
You
myself.
fell asleep. Pick six.
I'm watching it. I feel sky high. I'm like, dude, I could do this all night. Next thing I know, I wake up and it is 12:05, and Reese Davis is saying, "Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow." I was like, what the f- happened? Oh my god! So I trying to remember back. I was like, when did I fall asleep? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I was like, well, didn't see the Lions pick, and I was like, oh, I'll see who the Lions pick. I was like, well, we traded up. Well, didn't see number 24. I was like, let's see what happened before that. Well, didn't even see the Vikings trade back into for 17. So I fell asleep right after the Saints drafted their offensive lineman from Oregon State. Yep.
Wow.
Luis Fuaga.
Yep. Didn't
And
even
then
get to
good night,
see
Evan.
Byron Murphy ever get drafted. Yep. I fell asleep right after that. No, I'll take that back. I saw Indy pick. I saw Indy's pick, then fell asleep right after that.
Okay. And you fell asleep here, Byron
I
Murphy,
do
and then you
have to
woke
be
up. You woke up after Xavier Leggett.
It was over. They were talking
Damn,
about
because that's when all the
Carolina
it
get
was
drafted.
boring.
Carolina was drafting. I was like, are we doing the second round right now? And no. Oh, piece of shit. This is the
Well,
one night I enjoyed
Do you
the
have
most.
like a half-open beer next to you too?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
finish your
I was
beer?
on to my second one already, and it just
Didn't even get through it.
yep, dump it down the
It's
drain.
tough.
Party.
Were you
foul.
alone?
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
It pretty
I
much.
had nobody to keep me accountable. Like, hey, wake up! I always thought I was perfect, and the next thing I know,
I think it was because
It's
everything
not a
went
super
chalk
exciting event.
until Atlanta's pick. That was crazy.
shit still is bullshit. Still stupid.
Yeah, I'm still in the camp that it's stupid and I don't really get it and think it was dumb. I maybe have moved like 10% towards it could work out and they could get lucky from it. But the reason that it's still stupid is because of how old he already is.
24.
Yeah, like if they had drafted a 20 or 21-year-old, it's a little bit different. You can be like, oh, okay, well, there's a clear plan there. But yeah, he's going to be almost 30 by the time if Kirk plays well. Like I said, I think I said this in a text when Cody was talking about it. The only way it works and like looks genius is if, unfortunately, if Kirk gets hurt at some point relatively soon, which is it is a risk coming off an Achilles injury that old. So I do get that point, but any reason though, no matter if you agree with it or disagree, I don't think they need to use the 8th pick on it. I think, as Evan likes to do, you try to trade back maybe into the teens.
Eighth best player, eighth best quarterback.
Unless they thought JJ was going to go, unless they thought Minnesota was going to take Penix or that Denver would take Penix over McCarthy or Nix, then maybe they thought they had to. But
Vegas
think they could have done it better.
Penix. Didn't they say that?
I saw that being reported as like they might have. I saw Schefter say today on McAfee show. I saw a tweet that said Schefter was floating that out there. But then it makes me wonder who's that coming from. You know, how legit is it? It's like when people are like, "Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs."
They said it
get
pre-draft.
Picked.
They said pre-draft that Penix to Vegas. Like that was the hot rumor the day of, like 2 hours before.
Interesting.
But after that, I mean, I don't think anybody would have taken him.
Then maybe they had to. I don't know. That was big though for you, Alex. The Penix versus McCarthy draft debates. That was tough.
Well, Grant told me if JJ goes undefeated and wins a national championship, he'll be the number one pick in the NFL draft. It wouldn't be surprising. Turns out, he's the fifth best quarterback available.
Turns out, people value different things, and so now my only hope
quarterback taken.
My only hope is that he just
draft
proves it on the field, and then in 10 years from now, we can look back and be like, "Wow, he was the best quarterback in the class."
It's in our division. Can't hope that.
I can hope that he can be the best quarterback without them winning.
If you're not a winner, you're just a Justin Herbert, I guess. What does that get you? A lot
of money. A lot of supporters as well.
Well, I'm not going to be supporting him or rooting for him.
No, you shouldn't. You should not.
He's a division rival now.
Yeah, but you get happy when K9 did well against the Lions. So
no,
it's the same idea.
Not in that game. No, Grant, that is not the same. You can't root for JJ to play well against the Lions. You can't.
Yes, I can. Evan does it with Stafford.
Yeah, Evan can't do that either.
I did. I fist bumped during the Lions-Rams game.
No, maybe when push comes to shove.
You can root for him for 15 games a year.
Probably in the first meeting of the year, I won't be as much animosity towards him. But if it's a late season game and like legit playoff implications are on the line, then I'll hope he plays his worst game of the year and then bounce back the next week and play really well. I'm excited. I like the fit. I think it's Caleb Williams.
It's a perfect situation for him.
Caleb Williams has a pretty good situation now. Minnesota's offensive line's a little bit better. But those two, I mean, really, it's not a great, from a Lions fan's perspective, but the national picture, the NFC North got better. There's no doubt about that, I think. If JJ doesn't work, then the Vikings may have tanked themselves for 10 years. But Chicago feels like they're in a pretty good spot. They got Odunze. He's a dog. Everyone knows that. Like besides Marvin Harrison, he's one of the more surefire. I think obviously everyone keeps talking about Neighbors. He might have the higher ceiling if he hits, but you just watching Odunze play football, you're like, oh, that guy's going to be really good or pretty good. Like you're going to want him on your team. Packers are the Packers. Chicago, like I said with Caleb Williams' situation, they're probably going to be a pain in the butt right away. Might have some growing pains, but right away. And then the biggest thing I'm worried about or curious about with the Vikings is the whole QB battle. Like, would you guys think that he starts week 1, or do you think Sam Darnold gets like 6 or 7 games to try and then they go to JJ?
Sam Darnold gets the weird 4 or 5 games.
Darnold starting the season. He's only 26. Yeah. Sam Darnold.
I could see it. I could see it.
Josh McCown's the offensive coordinator there, and he was somebody's high school coach. I don't know if it was J.J. McCarthy or not, but he was one of the quarterbacks, high school coaches.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up. I feel like he was in the college or NFL ranks by the time J.J. was in high school, but maybe he crossed paths with Sam Darnold. The rest of the round, I don't know. Bo Nix, that's just one of those things where we watch college football, and I just can't believe he went top 12 in an NFL draft.
Best player. It's just
I I don't think so either, Evan. I
That is just
can't
somebody
believe he
in
won
that draft room that has more power than everybody else, just not listening
Sean
to everybody else and saying, "Yeah, this is who it's going to be."
Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Maybe it'll work. I doubt it.
I don't. Maybe the Auburn tape is too burned in my mind.
Dude, if I'm Denver,
I can't get it out.
Doesn't Denver have a first round pick next year? Don't they? I would assume so, right? They had one this year.
Do they have
traded
one?
A lot of
well, they did
away.
give a lot for Russell Wilson. I don't know what they have.
So isn't that
but why?
trade over
What's
with? I'm just saying, I think half of the quarterbacks next year are better than Bo Nix.
Oh, okay.
I would just.
I think you probably say about every class.
Yeah,
there'll at least be a few that are better than Bo
Evan,
Nix.
Sean Payton doesn't want to rebuild. He wants to get going.
Oh,
so
sorry, it's over with. You're rebuilding.
30-year-old Bo Nix might help him right away. It's like a free agent.
Chiefs, they did the Chiefs thing where they got the fastest player in the draft.
We went anti-white corner.
No.
It was there for the taking.
I just don't think he's the best corner. I think we got the best corner. I think Terrion's better than Quinion Mitchell. So I think that's a good pick. I think that's a better pick for Philly too. I don't know. I guess that transitions into the first round of the Lions. They trade up, which I think makes people nervous. I know it makes Evan nervous.
Hate it. Trade back.
You hated it?
I just don't like
so this was a trade
so
here.
Much. I didn't like how much we traded up.
We didn't even give up that much.
We gave up
a third for next year.
We basically just gave up in this trade. We gave up the third and we got a seventh because you get, obviously you just swap first round picks. Get Terrion Arnold. I loved it. I think the reason I liked it because when I look at draft picks, I like to go look at who went right after him and was I wanting anyone else? This was one of those rare moments, I think, in the Brad Holmes tenure where my mind was set on that's the guy we're getting when I saw the trade happen and they actually read that name off the card. Whereas in past years, I'm screaming for a name and he goes Jack Campbell. I'm like, oh God, what's happening? Or he goes Jameer Gibbs. Whoa. This was everyone on board, I think, rowing the boat in the same direction as PJ Fleck says. Let's get the best cornerback on the board. Let's take him. So I was cool with it in this case.
Is this the second time in the first round we've gone position of need under Brad Holmes? Panay? And then
Hutch.
Arnold?
I mean, you could even argue Panay was just best player available.
Yeah.
That draft.
I think
every single position would have been yeah, we can see that.
That draft was very good.
I mean, looking back at all of his drafts, Jameer included, how they've played out, it was the best player at that time you probably could have picked. I'd have to go back and look who went right after him, but marginally
Herbert
close.
Drafted before us or after us?
That was the last year of Herbert was the last year of what's his nut?
Quinn.
Yeah.
I think he might have.
I wanted us to draft Tua, and we drafted Jeff Okudah, and then Tua and Herbert went after that. Talk about a bad pick.
Last night took my due diligence. I didn't really watch it during the draft because was busy with other things going on, but was still paying attention to the draft. I did the classic, type their name into YouTube, watch the highlight tape, try to learn anything. Couple takeaways for each player. Terrion first. First thing I wrote down, he's smooth. When he runs, he seems very in control. Very non-Kindle Vildor-like. Very...
You would hope that he is better than Kindle Vildor.
Not to throw anyone on the bus.
First round pick is he's in a practice squad player playing in the NFC Championship game.
Correct. Cooper DeJean is 10 times better than Kindle Vildor.
Second thing, Terrion Arnold is not Brian Branch, but he can still tackle fine. There was multiple things on his highlight tape where he comes up, shoots the hips, makes the tackle. So that's good to see. Not as good as Brian Branch. I don't think many defensive backs are when it comes to tackling and run stopping, but he can tackle. And then another thing, 2 more points. The third one, when you watch his tape being in the SEC, you like to look at who he's playing against. That's a big thing that Alex does. He always will discredit someone if it's against lower competition. When you pop on the Terry and Arnold YouTube highlights, you see him covering Brian Thomas Jr., Ladd McConkey, A.D. Mitchell, and Evan Stewart from Texas A&M, who transferred to Oregon, who's going to be a good receiver this year. You see all those guys making plays, breaking up passes against all of them. That's 2 first-round picks in there. McConkey was early second. And then there was another clip, let's see if I can find it here, of him running downfield stride for stride with Xavier Worthy. Because one of the big knocks, I think, if anything, on Terry and Arnold was that he wasn't as much of an athlete as some of the other players. But if you're able to see this, it might be a little choppy, obviously. But there's him downfield here, running stride for stride with Xavier Worthy and making a play on the ball in a football game. So it's one of those things where his miles per hour on the field is going to be just fine. If
they
this
said
clip
Kyle
is
Hamilton was too slow, right?
They did. That was one of the things they thought about Kyle Hamilton, Alex, and we know he's going to be.
And Grant's declared him a Hall of Famer.
Correct. So. Yes. So I don't know if you guys have anything that stood out to you about Terry and Arnold, but
I think you covered it. Seems like another dog. He fits the Detroit personality very
the biggest thing I would say is just his character. I mean, just hearing him talk and speak, and then I think he was a leader on the Alabama squad. There was like one interview that I was instantly sold on as soon as he got drafted the next day. Watching him, and they were talking about how him getting yelled at by Nick Saban. He was kind of like, "Yeah, this is what we signed up for," but the day that he, like the typical coaches speak, like the day he stops yelling at us is the day he gives up on us. So as long as he's yelling at me, I'm kind of happy because I need to do things better, and he kind of holds a standard for us. And I think he wants to be better. He wants to be the best corner.
I think so too. To your point, to add on to that, there was a story about he got benched in either high school or early college. He lost his starting job, and he wrote it on a note card or something, made a note of it, and looked at it every day and uses that as his motivation to never get beat out again. So that's like some Amon-Ra type deal, internally motivating yourself from disrespect or how you interpret it. So I like that. And then, I mean, you said, Evan, Nick Saban, taking a defensive back, especially from Nick Saban, because he even said I watched a little bit of the ESPN stuff too, just to hear him talk, but he even said, I work with the DBs and cornerbacks the most at our program because that's what I like to do. That's my background. So you see it with Brian Branch. Give me someone that was coached for 4 years, 3 years by Nick Saban.
From Alabama, that's actually translated pretty well into the NFL.
Probably the highest hit rate, maybe wideouts. Those two position rooms are probably the highest hit rate. Not quarterbacks, but the other ones. So, yeah, very excited about that. And then moving along in our chronological of the draft, we get to round 2, pick 61. Ennis Rakestraw is how you pronounce it. I believe I tried to make sure I got these guys' names right. Pulling this back up here, we can see who went around him. This was another one of those picks where I don't know about you guys, but there wasn't a ton of guys outside of him that went after him that I was clamoring for. So again, I know you're doubling up on cornerback, but if he was the highest guy on their board, then I was cool with doubling up at that position. I'm curious your guys' thoughts though on the double up because it's controversial to a lot of people.
I think I like it even more just doubling up from that position. Our secondary got Finn last year, and now you're looking at all right, who's going to cover who? But hey, we have a position of need. You might as well double dip in this, and let's protect our asses later on. And now you have 2 young kids that now transition is going to be a little bit easier if you move off some of these veteran contracts. We're not playing the what if, okay, when he gets back, or what if, or maybe when. Now you're just all right. Okay, if they're not ready, we have 2 young kids that are let's see what they got.
We were one of the best rush defenses in the league and one of the worst pass defenses in the league. Taking 2 corners right away doesn't seem like a bad idea.
We gave up the most pass yards per catch in the NFL, or second most. It was us and the Bengals.
It was the main reason we didn't get to the next level was because our pass defense was so bad, especially at the back half of the end, like the end of the year.
bad.
It was just terrible.
Yeah.
Like every playoff game we watched, we just got shredded, and we still somehow won 2 of those games. So
Don't break.
I have zero issues with taking 2 corners.
And I believe not a lot of, but on the 2 big boards that I care about the most, Daniel Jeremiah's prospects and then the beast Dane Brugler, they had him top 50 for sure. I think in the 30s, I think Daniel Jeremiah did. So you take that at pick 61, no complaints with it. From watching his highlights, obviously not as impressive to me as Arnold off the rip. I will say this, first note I wrote, there's a little bit of CJGJ to this kid in terms of like flapping his gums and just being physical, which can be good and bad as we saw with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. One thing about Ennis is he goes all out. Like a lot of times I think you watch defensive backs and you think, oh, if they would have just dove for the football or dove to break up that pass, they would have got it. He does do that. He did it like 5 different times on his highlight tape alone where he just like lays out to try to block it. This is more of a fun one for the uniforms. I don't think we give Missouri enough credit for their uniform game.
Great uniforms.
On his tape, they have this all white look where they have tigers in cursive on the helmet, and it is fantastic. It might be like a top 15 uniform in college football. It's so sharp. So Missouri needs respect on their uniforms because it pops. And then my last take was that he's not afraid to hit. Similar to Terran Arnold. I'll say this right now, though. Rakestraw, the negatives, that he needs to work on, his form tackling is not really existent. He just lowers his shoulder at people, and it works in his highlight tape. And then he definitely, going back to the CJGJ part, definitely the kid early on in his career that you can see him getting some 15-yarders, whether that be pass interference as a spot foul or, unnecessary roughness. Like he's going to be that guy, I think, that we're just going to have to live with the good and then the frustrating part of his game. So
he's a big-time recruit that turned down Nick Saban to, quote, bet on himself and make a program better.
Hell yeah.
Well, he certainly doesn't lack confidence.
No, he doesn't.
I did not.
Which is important for a corner.
Yeah, I did not know that until this weekend. I saw that clip of Eli Drinkowitz going crazy when he committed to them, was going around, and someone was like, this is when Rakestraw chose Missouri over Alabama. Like their whole coaching staff went nuts in their room for him. So I was like,
there's also a lot of rumors that Missouri pays just atrocious amounts of money to players.
So Ennis is rich
under the table.
All right, hell yeah,
all good.
It's illegal now.
Yeah. Reggie Bush got the Heisman, baby. We're back.
He didn't get the Heisman back. It was awesome.
It's a big day in sports that day.
And then we're gonna fly way down to the 4th round to this guy, Giovanni Manu, offensive lineman from British Columbia. This was the
Don't
classic.
act like you know anything about this guy. No one knows.
Classic. What Brad pick? He moves up. He goes.
Both are first-round picks.
Yeah, I know, Evan. That's the most predictable thing I think with Evan absolutely hating this. Here's the deal. They gave up, like Evan said, a future 3rd rounder. Next year's 3rd round pick for this developmental offensive tackle.
He is
Giovanni
huge.
Manu. Evan, you seem distressed. You want to get things off your chest about it to us?
Yeah, because, listening to a lot of people and talking like, okay, so he is a project. There's no way around it. He played in Canadian football, college Canadian football is nowhere the competition in American or stateside, however you want to put it. I guess there's a Canadian pro day and he just wowed everybody, and that's where like most of his publicity or his talents got seen.
Wait 1 sec, Evan. I think your AirPod might be rubbing up against your facial hair or something.
Right. So
the Pro Day, Canadian Pro Day.
Canadian Pro Day, he wowed, and obviously he fell in love with them. Last time we had Alliance fall in love with somebody just because of an event was Lakeland Tomlinson, offensive lineman. Wowed everybody at the Senior Bowl. He turned into be a dud for the Lions.
Well, he played a long time in the league.
He did play a long time, but not good for the Lions. I just don't like. I hated our Hendon Hooker pick. Still do. Like, 4th round picks should still be people that can contribute to your team right now. And I don't think he can. Like, knock on wood, heaven forbid.
I don't know. Colby Sword still played last year. This guy might find some time.
But I'm saying, okay, heaven forbid, knock on wood, like something happens in the first 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think we're drawing his name.
No, I don't think so either.
Definitely not.
Okay, Alex, maybe week 14, 15? Sure.
Well,
okay, but like early on, like I don't think that is. Now, do they see the future and they're like, okay, maybe he gets slided over right tackle, Sewell goes over to left whenever Decker decides to give it up? Maybe, but I just don't like taking projects in the 4th round. I see that still a value is way too high. You're talking a top 126, so top 200 kid in the draft, top 150 kid in the draft that you think, yeah, it's okay for us to sit on him. No, you're a couple plays away from playing in the Super Bowl. I need guys that contribute right away without giving up assets for my future. And I said it to you guys in our group chat. Like, I want the deepest roster in the NFL. I want as many talented picks that I can get. And I don't think he was one of them.
He could be talented. I have no problems with the pick besides the fact that they traded up because I don't think they needed to.
So you're telling me this kid is going to be worth 2 picks?
One. We traded 1 pick for him.
We traded up. I'm saying he took 1 pick, and then we gave up another pick. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, no, I'm saying I wouldn't have traded up. I would have sat there and waited and taken him later if you really wanted him. Brad's made us all look dumb before, so I'm not going to like just write this one off as an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't like pick 132 either.
I don't mind pick 32.
I'll give my thoughts quick on the Giovanni. Brad does have some misses. It's not like he's
not perfect.
But he's the best we've ever had. He's changed our lives when it comes to being football fans. So I'm not going to say anything bad. This is definitely one though that if it doesn't hit, like you don't get like probably at least multiple years of him starting on your offensive line and not being a revolving door where it's like you're going to remember the name Giovanni Manu. You'll probably just say, remember that big kid we got from British Columbia? That's basically what people will say.
Remember the defensive end from BYU that only played 2 years of football and we drafted him in the top 10? Yeah.
He was pretty good for a second.
He had some flashes, though. You always bring up Ziggy Ansah, but he actually did have some flashes.
Pretty good. He's a Pro Bowler.
He had like sack records for at least a season or something for us until Hush came along.
He was electrifying when he played.
Brought him up.
If you guys get bored, I don't know if you did, but the Giovanni's Kids tape, the little of it that's out there is laughable. The competition. Oh my God. He plays guard too. He plays guard and tackle in the tape.
He's just the biggest kid out there just abusing people. All the athletes in Canada are playing hockey right now.
He's pretty athletic though. Do you see him jump out of that pool?
No, I saw him do a normal standing jump. I didn't see out of the pool.
He jumped out of a pool.
I want to see how he looks on skates. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, my concern with him,
could he play goalie for the Red Wings?
Technique down is I think he's gonna always struggle against like people that rush like James Houston. People that rush fast into the ground, I don't see how he does well. Like bull rushers, I think he could be okay against because he's huge and he has fine feet.
I mean, do we move him inside to a guard position?
He could. He played guard in British Columbia for whatever that is worth. He did play guard.
Well, he did also say that. I mean, Penny's one of his inspirations because of the heritage, and a lot of people look up to him. And now you're sitting right next to him.
Penny Pasta can get anybody right, Evan. Don't you worry.
Penny Pasta,
just take him under his wing. Yeah, Penny Pasta, take him under his wing. And
for some of these kids, and Penny's like 22, 23 years old.
I love how we're just calling him Penny. Like, that's his name.
Penny Pasta.
Yeah, he's got 2 good mentors. He's got our offensive line coach who people seem to like. So
Hank Fraley, great guy.
If there's a place
this offseason, which was actually huge. We almost left multiple times.
Saying that the only guy that this guy could have gone to and had success was either the Eagles or us. So hopefully we can prove those people right, and he'll be good eventually. Next pick, another trade up. His name is Evan. Let's just get the name right.
I'm not going to say the name because it's not going to matter.
Sione Vaki. Sione Vaki from
you draft him as a
Utah.
running back? You really think he's going to compete for the third running back spot over Craig Reynolds?
Evan.
No, the Lions said he drafted him as a running back.
That is true. They did in the press conference.
Now how do you feel, Alex?
He met with Ben Johnson.
Only met with the offensive staff.
But maybe he does both. Really what he will be year one is special teamer. So here's the trade again. We moved up to 132 a few picks after
special
Giovanni.
teams is contributing, Evan. Maybe he'll be our punt returner.
We have Jalen Reeves-Mason. That's all we need. Who's our punt returner last year?
We gave up 164 and
Amon-Ra. Khalif Raymond. Then he died.
Raymond.
I like Khalif.
And then DPJ in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well,
which was fine. Which was definitely fine.
Just fair catch guy.
And we gave up a fourth rounder for 2025, but this was a fourth rounder we received, I think, from the Vikings. So we still have our fourth rounder. We still have a fourth rounder next year. This was an extra fourth rounder we had.
32, though, Grant. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Basically a fifth rounder.
We're going to be trading up in a
Evan,
round.
If our pick is 30T,
anyways.
if our pick is 32, then the draft next year does not matter at all. If our pick is 32, so it just doesn't.
They're not even going to watch the draft next year. Just an F. Don't give a shit who we pick.
Yeah, if we win the Super Bowl, I will not watch the draft.
Wake me up Friday
I will
morning.
watch. Yes.
Evan, do you think Chiefs fans are stressing about their fourth round trade up pick? No. Maybe we should.
They're assets to the
They're
future.
different.
Yes.
They've won. They've won.
Thinking I want sustained success, not just a flash in the pan, one hit wonder. Like I want depth on the roster.
Oh, we've been building that, Evan.
Well, I want more.
We've been actually very good in the draft. You're being awfully critical for a team that's been building through the draft very well.
I have the right to complain.
You do.
All our best players are drafted besides Jared Goff.
Correct. And every single player that has contributed, I do not complain about the pick.
I'm just saying, our hit rate.
I complain about where they're taking, but I don't complain about the talent of the player.
Have you seen this kid's YouTube highlights at all?
I watched a lot of his highlight tape of him at Utah because I respect Utah's football program.
Did it not pop to you? This guy looks like a beast when he plays on the
Utah's
field.
uniforms are great. Him playing in Pasadena, fantastic. Him playing at home games versus USC, uniform
Nirvana. But he looked awesome against the good teams too.
And then it just hated because then Pat McAfee was on game day just hyping him up because he was technically putting up better two-way stats than other players that were playing two ways because he was playing safety and running back.
Mm-hmm.
Like collision on collision, not wide receiver.
But why is a perfect football player for the Detroit Lions? He's everything that the Detroit Lions are.
I think we have the best special teams in the league.
Correct.
With
but
him.
like, I would actually
does whatever it takes.
Alex, this is my point right here. I would not hate it if they were like, "Yep, he's going to play safety for us." I'd be like, "Oh, you know what? We need a safety that can come down in the box and tackle." But no, we're out here saying that he's going to be a running back when I don't think he can contribute in that running back room.
What we say doesn't mean what will happen.
I don't think he'll get a snap the first 2 years. Get a snap.
He's going to play every snap on special teams. I guarantee it.
Okay, but a special teams player, I'm not trading up in the fourth round to draft a gunner on special teams. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Kick returner.
Evan, I can get behind your thought about the running back. I was very confused about that.
I don't want to know.
Look at I would rather take Braylon Allen if we're looking for a running back. This kid's 20.
Braylon Allen can't play on special teams.
But I'll say this.
That matters.
I will find a special teams player. It'd be Derek Barnes when he misses another sack in the big time game on Monday Night Football.
Maybe there's something with Craig Reynolds. I don't know, money wise, or maybe they don't see him many more years after this. So maybe he becomes the third running back.
Donovan People-Jones can run on the field if I can.
And then There could be something though where like if the secondary gets banged up, maybe they give him reps at safety. Maybe he's just an absolute dog and he can go help fill in if someone goes down. The tape was like, I see it. I know it's the 4th round he traded up, but I was like, this kid looks awesome. Between him, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Jalen Reeves-Maybin will probably have the best coverage team in the entire NFL.
We got Rodrigo.
Like
Alex,
matters.
We will just
That does
absolutely
matter.
dominate the third phase of the game.
That's why there's 3 phases, Evan, not 2.
So he's gonna be our new.
Also,
he's gonna be our new fake punt guy.
There was a game last year. Yeah,
he has great hands. Trick play demon as well. Yeah.
There was a game last year against the Bucks on the road where Gibbs and Montgomery were hurt, and Craig Reynolds had to play by himself.
Craig Reynolds did it. He can do it by himself.
No, I think we had like Igwebuike or someone.
Yeah, that's what my point is. Like, I think there was better
rushers.
talented running backs on the board than this kid.
But this kid's a football
total
player.
package.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We draft football players, not divas.
Dude, this kid is sick though. We played Divine Azigbo, got 3 carries for 5 yards against the Bucks.
We had like 12 yards rushing in that game. But
so this is what I wrote about
in the year.
This is what I wrote about Sione, special teams demon, the Utah Jabril Peppers. If that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what else will fire you up.
Most overrated college football player of all time.
Still starting in the NFL though.
I think he's still out there.
I think he still is playing.
Starting.
He plays for
this kid has really good hands, which you don't get in a lot of running backs. He had a lot of like downfield passes to him. They also used him in Wildcat, which was just interesting, and he's very sneaky fast. He does not look like he'd run away from people. He ran away from people multiple times in his tape. So,
and same heritage as Penne Pasta.
Mm-hmm. Polynesian between Manu, Vaki, and Sewell. Different
We're just
breed.
building that Hawaiian pipeline.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to the next pick. I don't believe this was a trade up, right? And this is
Christian
in the
Mahogany, number 210.
It's Makai Wingo.
Trey Wingo's son.
Trey Wingo's nephew.
Nephew.
Which I thought was one of the funnier things I've ever texted, but it didn't get really any laughs. I really enjoyed that. Let me check this. We didn't trade up for this one, I don't believe. Oh yes, we did. We did. We were addicted to trading up. We moved up to 189, which I think this trade's fine. Whatever. You give up 205 and 249 to a guy that some people also had in their top 100. What I saw from this kid, I liked. The only things I wrote down were 2. He's got a very
last year though.
True, which
because of a Michigan State graduate
could spin zone into being good for Makai that he had no help, and he still caught people's eye. He has a very quick first step, moves fast when you watch. He's small, though, for a defensive tackle. I think what you're looking at, if all goes right, towards the end of the year, he's a third down pass rusher option. I have no idea what he'll be in 3 years, but I could see him contributing on third downs in his first year if he impresses people in camp.
I think I could see him contributing because I think the defensive tackle position is pretty easy. You got to stop the run, and if you're not doing your job, you're going to push back like next man up. Like I will find another big body to do the job.
Yeah, and I don't think DJ Reader is going to be playing a ton of third downs. I could be wrong. I don't watch the Bengals Reader in and out, but yeah, but I
pretty
don't
cool.
think. I think he plays like first and second down.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. DJ Reader. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're pretty good. We're a pretty good football team.
This guy, though, looking at him, you could line him up in a 3-tech easy. Maybe not all the way out wide, but he's small. He's not a big defensive tackle by any means. So he's fast too. I like it.
Josh,
I love how in the weeds you are, Grant, about this stuff. But we're getting near the 200s here. We're going to miss on a lot of these dudes. That is just the simple fact of the matter.
This is the depth, Alex. This is the depth I'm talking about.
Not Brad
Holmes,
when you
need like 2 or 3 more picks.
I hope he can contribute. Won't fault him if he doesn't.
Grant, this is also my point for your 4th rounders. Like, we drafted Amon St. Brown in the 4th round. Brad Holmes did.
Yeah.
Do you think one of these two are going to turn into something like that?
You never know.
Manu has a chance.
Oh, shit.
But that's the thing. And that's...
Well, We can't
gonna
just act like that's the standard.
Well,
That is a
I know that's
very
not the
rare
standard,
thing
but
to
that
happen.
should be the goal now. Like, hey, I'm good at drafting. Like,
you
I'm
find
going to
the highest paid player at their position in the 4th round every year.
one day because AJ Brown got paid the next
If you
day.
hit on that one every 5 years, it's pretty good.
I'm going to use a irresponsible analogy, but it came to mind and it involves the Pistons. This type of pick is like the Bucks taking Giannis in like the mid-teens, and then the Pistons taking Sekou Doumbouya in early on, because like you're just taking a dart. And if Manu becomes Jordan Mailata, like what people are projecting his high end, and he becomes one of the highest paid tackles, then you're like Brad Holmes.
Like no one can say like that.
Brad Holmes can do whatever he wants if it turns into that, but he could also become a Sekou Doumbouya where nothing happens. Anything.
But if he sucks in the 4th round, it's not like the end of the world.
Right, which, okay, it kind of is because they should contribute.
Unless the team takes the 3rd rounder next year that turns into a Hall of Famer, then it hurts really bad.
You're giving up a 3rd rounder next year, and they're like, oh, remember this pick? Yeah, the Lions just gave it to us for some British Columbia tackle that turned into a ball.
Evan, the Rams haven't even had draft picks for like 10 years, and they make the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
The Rams. First round pick they've had in like 20 years.
Yeah, because they built through free agency instead of the draft. That's why.
Once we become a hot destination.
But I thought we're becoming draft.
But we can only build so much through free agency. Even if we're like the best team in the league, there are some people
Guys,
that do not want to live
the
in
draft.
Detroit.
Relax. We are doing a great job building.
So we're building for the draft. I would
get upset before they even play. Evan, you can't just punt for the future forever.
I'm not punting for the future. I'm going to scout and get guys that can contribute right away.
And that's what Brad thinks he did.
I don't think Mino can contribute right away, Alex. And you just said that yourself.
But I think Brad's smarter than me.
Also, Brad's 3rd round picks are not his strong suit, typically. Well, this one he got Kirby Joseph in, so that worked.
He's probably drunk by Friday night. That's probably why. He's just like, yeah, pick whoever you want.
Oh, they're actually looking better. It's the 2nd round. My bad. 2nd round, he usually misses.
2nd rounds are his misses, but
Sam Makai Wingo.
Good. Brian Branch is pretty good.
Probably takes Levi Onzareki's job if he's good. Probably.
Gonna have it.
It's a crazy statement early on, but whatever. Who knows? We'll see. This guy's played a snap in the NFL.
Last pick, Christian Rich Mahogany guard late on. Another person that people were higher on, but I guess he's got some injury concerns. He was working through something. Let me just say this. I did watch some of his tape. The tape was only versus Florida State. I'll say this about Christian. He held his own versus Jared Verse. He did. I watched that matchup multiple times. He bull rushed him. He gave up a little bit of ground, but he held his own, which is all I needed to see. To be like, if you can stop that bull rush, then you could be okay and serviceable in a game if it's between you or Sorsdahl. So, like the pick.
Sorsdahl just catches strays every week.
I know. Not his fault.
He was bad.
Yeah. But he got thrown into tough spots because he had to go up against, I don't know if it was Rashawn Gary or someone, but he had to go up against some tough people.
He was so bad on Thanksgiving. Oh my God. He got just nuked. And that's the draft.
That's our draft. What did you guys grade it? Gotta give the grade.
B.
I think grades are super dumb. Because we haven't seen anybody play. B.
Yeah. B plus.
Ew.
We also signed a really bad kicker.
Did we really?
Was he from Michigan?
Michigan's.
Yeah.
We signed Michigan's kicker from last year, and he sucked.
We just need to get the Panthers kicker. He's in-house.
Yeah, but he missed a couple last week, Evan.
Don't give a shit.
They don't want you to see that, but he missed a couple last weekend.
Bang a 60-yarder in Ford Field already. He can be hired.
All right, so we got 2 Bs. You guys both get Bs?
B plus, because you wanted to be special. It wasn't flashy, but I think it covered the job.
What's your favorite pick? What's your least favorite pick?
4th round was my least favorite. Just both of them, combine them up. Package deal. Terrible. I'm gonna say my favorite's Arnold in the first round. You said like we drafted a position of need for the first time. It was like, okay, everyone, this is what we need, and we actually did it. There was no surprise there. Not sexy. It's what needs.
Arnold
It's what's
is my
needed.
favorite pick. Arnold is my favorite pick for sure. And yeah, pick I don't love. It's probably the British Columbia dude, I guess. I don't love any of the back picks, but like I don't know. It's not that I don't love them. I just have no idea what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. My favorite, Arnold as well. Never in my wildest dreams did I think he'd be that far. I thought he was easily top 15. And like
Well, when
everything
no
I looked
defensive
at.
players go in the top like 14, it's pretty.
Yeah. And I love that Brad, even though we had like barely any draft capital, said, I'm just going to go get him. I'm going to go right in front of Green Bay. I'm going to take him in your face, and you're going to draft Jordan Morgan after us, and I'm just going to take the best cornerback in the draft. That was awesome. Least favorite, and it also made staying up worth it because that was a nice pop. I was like, oh, we're there. Least favorite, I'll just go British Columbia guy because I don't. Well, I'll go Vaki if we use him at running back.
I didn't want to say him because I think he's just great football player.
He's going to be a fan favorite. People are going to love him like Malcolm.
On special teams.
He's going to be awesome. So I guess I don't.
When he forces a fumble, Evan, in game one, prime time game one, forces a fumble, picks it up, scoop and score touchdown, you're going to be going bananas.
The Chiefs and somebody else.
No, it will be Sunday night, week one.
Packers Lions week one.
Sunday night for the division to start the season.
Last few questions I had.
Could be Lions Niners week one.
Lions Bills.
We got a hot schedule this year.
I don't know if we played them. I don't think we do. I just thought
we played the Niners.
We're gonna kick their ass. Vaki's gonna put a CMC in a headlock and hip drop tackle him into next season.
Imagine Vaki just lighting CMC up on the sideline. God, that would be awesome.
Okay, so out of the draft, obviously you can't address every position. What are the glaring strengths and weaknesses of the team after the draft, at least on paper?
The same things. The offensive line and run game is still a strength. That didn't improve. That is our strength of our team.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that for the strength. I think
the secondary got better, I think.
I think our weakness is still sacks on the quarterback.
Our weakness is 97.
No.
Now, we did address the defensive line in free agency, but I just always love those speed edge rushers that just dominate.
Marcus Davenport.
That just absolutely.
Chubby boy.
He's fat, though. They absolutely just dominate their highlight tape. Just like
James Houston.
How do you block him?
Breakout year for James Houston's going to be awesome.
Cut him.
I would say, I think it should be mentioned, at least how Brad talks about it too, is that by taking those corners, you're kind of...
Oh, talk about Aiden Hutchinson. Do it.
Well, it's hopefully going to help the edge rush. It all works together in tandem, where if you have a secondary that isn't getting blown by, a la Mike Evans versus Cam Sutton towards the end of the year, you actually might be able to get home to the quarterback a little bit better. So I think that'll help. To Evan's point, DJ Weird's going to clog a lot of people up as well. But in my heart of hearts, why I'm not going to give it an A draft, I did want edge help, but I also realized once you get to that point in the first round where we were, there probably isn't anyone graded as high as Terry and Arnold. Like Jared Verse went. If we could have got Jared Verse somehow, then it's like an A, because that's what I want. I want both ends collapsing.
Where did he go? 17?
No.
I'm looking now.
He went 19 to the Rams.
He went to the Rams. They got him and Fiske.
Yeah, I do love that for there. Yeah, he went 19. So, kind of close, but you look after us, there wasn't any edges that went crazy. No. My dad did say his text was about Rakestraw you could have gotten Braylon Trice from Washington if you liked his. I don't know what they thought about his tape. I liked him. I mean, I think he was good, but if you wanted to get, that's the only other player I would have taken at that point if you weren't going to double up.
But crazy.
But really, the hope is that with the secondary help, you can hold better. Hold up better back there to let your guys get home. Weakness, I'm still going to throw out there. Wide receiver, I'm a little nervous about it. We have one of the best in the NFL. I do like JMO. We have Laporta and Gibbs, as Evan mentioned, so we do have like a more cohesive. It's just that
DPJ.
That Josh Reynolds role was very important for our offense until obviously people are going to talk about the drops, but like he was important all year long. And I'm biased to DPJ. I love him, Michigan guy, but I just don't see it right now. I think they need help.
We'll do like a veteran, Grant. I think we'll sign like a veteran or something like that.
We signed that guy from the Saints, Traquan Smith. He's okay. He's like a big body receiver. I didn't know we signed him until I saw them release like on Instagram his jersey number, and I was like, "Oh, we have that guy. Nice."
Do we actually?
I saw it on Instagram. Unless I'm.
Alex is on the gram still.
Oh yeah, he's on our roster.
So there you go.
One name I saw floated out, one of those like Twitter names, that you're like, I don't know. If you could somehow convince Michael Thomas to come play for us in that role on a cheaper veteran deal.
No.
That would be pretty cool.
No. Grant.
Aaron Glenn, reunion, Saints.
Dan Campbell, reunion, Grant? What do you mean?
Damn, I didn't know we had Traquan Smith. He's not bad. Played him in fantasy once or twice.
Yeah, I have definitely started him in a fantasy lineup before.
All right. Well, I guess that's Josh Reynolds.
I mean, Josh Reynolds was good, but like his role kind of diminished as the year went on as Gibbs and Laporta became better.
Not the Rams playoff game. He was a leading receiver. He was an absolute stud.
It's just because Jared loves him.
Yeah, that's important. That's an important thing. Makes me a little bit nervous.
But Jared let him walk.
But the attention on Amon-Ra is only going to go up and up. He's only going to get more and more eyeballs every year. My other thing was let me find this, Detroit Lions defensive stats. Hold, please.
Traquan Smith was a third-round pick, Evan. We replaced him. We brought in a third-round pick.
I got a stat about Aiden Hutchinson for you guys that I think you'll love and appreciate. So I was looking at... What I was doing was I was looking at who actually played cornerback for us last year and how many games, like not just special teams, like who actually sat down and had to play corner for us.
Kendall Vildor.
It was pretty gross to look at. I forgot about Khalil Dorsey had a lot of games as well for us.
So he sucked. Special teams hero, though.
Had a few. Will Harris had some run. Obviously, Jerry Jacobs, who fell out of favor very fast with the fan base after being Seatbelt Gang, the OG. But
because he stunk.
When looking at passes defense by our secondary and on the team, Brian Branch led the way with 13. Kirby Joseph had 11. So your safeties were your best pass coverage people last year. Cam Sutton only had 6. Aiden Hutchinson had 7 passes defensed. Our starting defensive end had more passes defense than our premier cornerback that we hired in free agency. And then,
Grant, if they're not throwing their way,
I think people were throwing Cam Sutton's way. I think people threw Cam Sutton's way.
What do you think it would take to trade for Sauce Gardner?
More than we have.
Make that happen?
2 firsts?
No.
Trade our 2 new corners. Let's just trade our new 2 corners we drafted for Sauce. Well,
no.
Sign sealed.
And then, crazier, if you took Vildor, Will Harris, and Dorsey's pass defenses combined, they're still less than Hutchinson's on the year. So I think that goes to show how bad we needed cornerbacks on our team.
Anybody complaining that we drafted 2 cornerbacks that's not no ball?
I agree. Between our draft picks, all of them, the only one that starts probably day one in the starting, 22 offensive defense is Arnold. Would we agree?
Agreed.
Starts game 1.
Yeah, he'll be lined up on the other side of Carlton Davis.
There's a chance they throw him in the slot and let
No.
Rakestraw go outside, and then they both start.
No. Then who are you cutting out of the back?
You have Kirby and Brian back there.
Iffy. Got to at least get a run to start the year. He was one of the best defensive players we had last year at the end.
For 4 games. Yeah, I guess he earned his spot. All right, just Arnold.
I feel like that, like when you do the 4-2-5, you know, those 5, it's Carlton Davis, Arnold, Branch, Iffy, Kirby is your 5. And then if Rakestraw or Mosley or whoever.
A decent amount.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see him on the field.
I think we're talking like 20% of defensive snaps. We're not talking. I guess I don't know. We'll see what happens. But there's going to be injuries there throughout the year, as there always are in that position. But I think Terrion gets to play like 80% plus of defensive snaps out the gate, assuming camp and everything goes well.
Yeah, it might be a little battle between him and Rakestraw. They're both Alabama recruits.
Oh, yeah. Those Amon-Ra versus those DB in camp is going to be good stuff. A
lot of jabbing.
There might be some camp fights.
Oh, yeah.
Might be some camp
There's
fights.
always camp fights.
Michigan didn't break the all-time draft record. Sad, but I guess who cares about those records?
All I know is Michigan State got a player drafted.
Samick. How do you pronounce it?
I didn't even know we had anybody eligible to be drafted.
By a Harbaugh, too. By John.
Yeah.
Blake Corum to the Rams. Sorry, not to just go into other picks, but interesting.
There was a stretch of like the one period I actually watched on Saturday was like 5 Michigan players in a row, and I was like, all right, that's enough.
Did you guys watch? You guys didn't watch the start of day 2, did you?
I did. I watched Keon and Ladd.
I was saying like the intro they did for the Michigan football team.
Yeah,
if they're watching that,
I muted it. That was disgusting.
I did not watch that.
I saw a tweet go out, and I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna draw some mixed reactions from the crowd."
I forget that Michigan won the national championship, and like I see all the media like pumping them up. I'm like, why are they talking about this team? And I'm like, oh, they really actually won.
Yeah,
my nightmare just never ends.
It still feels not real sometimes. I agree with you. Where it's like, oh yeah, they did win the title. I rewatched.
Like, why aren't they talking about Alabama and Georgia players? They're just talking about Michigan players. Oh, they were the best. They were the best team.
I think like a week and a half ago, I rewatched the longer highlight cut of the Rose Bowl just to relive it.
It was the lowest rate of 5 stars ever drafted from a class.
The lowest. Oh, like from an actual. And all of college football?
It's like 11% of the draft eligible 5 stars were drafted.
Wow.
It's like alarmingly low. Basically, because the scouts during COVID could not evaluate players very well.
For what it's worth, too, I don't know if you guys ever look at, I only see him on Twitter, but Warren Sharp, the big like football analytics dude.
I saw this.
He does a lot of charts. The Lions had the most valuable draft class based on draft pick over expectation was his model. So like where you got the guy based on where he was supposed to go. So we got
a lot of good value.
Top 250 picks.
Who's the worst?
But the Bills got 11 top 250.
The Falcons with the most reaches.
We didn't get that many top 250 picks, but we didn't have that many picks.
Unless they just get like be on the top just because they got the best player in the draft.
Yeah. What was the other one too? Oh, that was the actual picks for broken down. So the biggest reach was obviously Manu. Vaki was second, and then it kind of, I guess the offensive guard was the best value we had in the entire draft. And so was Wingo. Like those 2 last picks kind of made up all of our value. What was his last one? It was
117 picks over expectation for that kid from Boston College. The kid's supposed to be that good.
It was, yeah. This draft capital used on offense or defense, and we are the most used on defense, which tracks to what we did. But it was nice to see that we actually did bolster the defense.
Well, we last year we thought we were going to, and then we didn't.
Well, I guess we're not first. We're the least on offense. I'm sorry. We're the least on offense. We're the 7th most on defense. Yeah. Sorry. I was looking at the top part.
It's okay. We're all dumb sometimes.
Rangers did it all on offense. That's
the most on offense.
Oh, here's an idea. Don't have 2 idiots run your offense.
They were so bad.
Now we wait for 6 months until we see any of these players play. How exciting!
Yeah.
Next is
you guys got anything on
You're watching Defend the Den, Alex, and you're like, "Oh my god, I knew he was gonna be good."
Started that thing's an hour and 42 minutes. I started watching it and I fell asleep.
Where are you at? I'm 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I think I'm about the same.
I just watched the Lions versus Chargers game.
Oh no, I'm right before that.
Okay.
I just watched him get spanked by the Ravens.
Oh, dark game. People were out on JMO after that. Holy shit, that was a dark period.
They opened that thing so sad with just Levi Stadium. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah. I think they got
to relive this again. I had to relive this again.
Did you guys see it? They asked Panay during his contract extension press conference about that game. He's watched it 10 times.
10 times.
He's watched that game 10 times. He's a
psycho. I love it.
Sicko.
I love it.
I do too. Panay and I are pretty similar. I've watched it a lot too.
Go crazy this year.
Yeah. Go crazy. In the black. In the all black, just mauling people in the end zone.
I have a confession. The more I see the blacks, the less I like them. I don't really like
you're a loser.
I don't like the jersey itself. I think the jersey looks very like kiddish.
Wait till it's under the lights.
It will never be under the lights.
Ford Field has lights.
You're right.
Do you guys have anything about the NBA NHL playoffs? Maybe mad that the Capitals got swept.
Freaking NHL playoffs have been freaking exciting to watch. Yeah.
Freaking awesome, dude. Freaking totally are freaking sick.
NBA playoffs?
Yeah.
Snooze fest. TKLS.
The NBA playoffs have not been great.
No, they're snooze fest. It's like if you want to go to bed or you want to take a nap, like just turn those games on.
Dude, guys, Anthony Edwards is must-watch television right now. The kid, he's awesome.
He is.
It's just
his dad is Michael Jordan.
Yes, correct. I looked up conspiracy theories again today.
No, I actually starting to believe it.
Okay, but feels bad though. NHL love the playoffs. The announcers for the playoffs have been
not good.
Dog shit. Dog shit.
Good. I don't listen to him.
Bob Wischusen, ESPN, fantastic. Sean McDonough,
Steve Levy.
Oh.
Is it Steve Levy? Is he doing them?
I haven't heard Steve Levy on the game unless he's doing the late. But they so NBA's now on playoffs, and then they had the draft this weekend, so they moved all of the NHL over to TNT. Okay, playoffs on TNT, so they moved it to TBS and True TV. They had some freaking duds this weekend calling games. Some never heard ofs.
That's tough.
I need it back on ESPN because I need Sean McDonough calling me a game.
What saves those is the halftime shows. Like the intermissions are so good on Turner. I don't know if you guys saw the clip going around of Chuck when they were talking about, I don't know if this got brought up at work, Alex, because it was a Texas reference, but he said that the Pelicans don't deserve to go to Cancun. They should go to Galveston where that dirty ass water is. I was pissing myself. I was pissing myself.
Galveston is like 40 minutes from here.
Yeah, I know it's down by you.
It's like the Clive, but I went there. It's okay.
And Shaq was just
dirty ass water in Galveston.
Dirty ass water in Galveston. They don't go to Cancun.
Have you seen the clip of Charles when he sees like some hot girl in San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, she's not from San Antonio."
That show is so good. Oh man,
it's entertaining. The basketball knowledge on that show, Charles doesn't know diddly anything.
Kyrie's layup the other night was,
I don't like it.
Other day, crazy. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks Sixers series is must watch. That is a really good series. There's some series that are good. a couple blowouts, but
I can't get into Bucks Pacers.
no,
Or
too many
Magic.
injuries.
Magic Cavs.
No, yeah, I don't watch those.
I
It's
mean,
basically the West.
I
and
looked up
then-
at the TV Thursday, Magic Cavs, and the Magic were up 45 points. And I was like, wow, I'm not watching that game.
That'll probably be a good game 7, though. I think it's going to go to 7 games.
The Lakers have led for 75% of the series, down 3-1.
I know. I need the Nugs to win tonight. I have them
Is that tonight?
it's in halftime. I have them -2.5 for the series, so I need them to win tonight.
Selfishly, I'd like LeBron to win another game, but
My NHL
they're
future
up
for
again.
all of our
They've
listeners.
led at
to root
halftime
for.
of every game.
Evan, do you think the Oilers can win the Stanley Cup? Because that's who my
No,
future's on.
they'll always choke.
Okay. Damn it.
I don't think their defense is good enough.
All
But
right.
they're
well,
run by. You know who they're run by? They're run by Ken Holland.
Oh, well, he's won
Stanley Cup
he's
champion.
won some championships.
Stanley Cup
But he
champion,
puts
Kyle.
Band-Aids over bullet holes.
But
But he's the
McDavid,
best player in the
Connor
league.
McDavid did win me money this first round of the playoffs because
Draisaitl.
he was even money to get over 9.5 total points in the first round.
Who are the favorites?
Over 9.5 points
who
in the
should I
first round.
expect
That's
to
all you
win?
need to do. In whatever 5-6 games, you need to get 10 points. He had 5 assists in the first game.
I did see that. It was nuts.
In 5 seconds or less, Evan. Who's going to be in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Hold on.
5,
So hard to tell.
I like the Panthers a lot. I think they just play a different style than everybody else. They're still like the
3,
bruisers.
2,
Stop.
1.
Our Avalanche on the other side, I feel like the Avalanche are always there.
Yeah,
Well, we
I
can't
do
root for
like
them,
the
guys.
Avalanche.
They're our
I
biggest
don't like
rival.
the Islanders and Hurricanes to come out of it. At least they're done.
No.
Um,
Bruins are always sneaky. They just have that aura about them.
Championship mindset.
I don't know. Like the Knights are like that. Knights have talent, and they have like
Who's going to be in? Make your pick right now.
I'm gonna pick the. I said Panthers out of the East for sure,
Yep.
and then West is so hard.
I like that pick, Evan.
I'm gonna pick.
Panthers, Oilers.
Anything
Oilers
less.
win their first cup in forever.
I think
Grant wins $80.
Vancouver can do it. I don't think Edmonton can do it, but I want Edmonton.
But really, I think
It's like
Avalanche.
Connor McDavid is like Mike Trout. Like he needs to be in the finals. Mike Trout needs to be in the World Series.
Yes.
But
So he never will,
I
like
think
you're
it's gonna be
saying.
the Avalanche. Avalanche have like 2 of the best players on the ice at all times.
Avalanche, Stanley Cup
I'm
champs
going-
over the Panthers.
Abs Bruins.
No, Bruins.
Abs
Ooh,
win.
I love that. I love that.
Abs Bruins.
series.
Abs win the whole thing.
Not the Panthers.
I just don't like the look of the Panthers. Their uniforms are disgusting.
Well, they're soccer uniforms.
They look so bad.
Celtics versus Knicks will be a fun Eastern Conference Finals.
Knicks can't score.
Celtics won by like 30.
And then
The Knicks are exciting.
the West.
The Nova Knicks are sick. I hate to say it. The Nova
The
Knicks
West-
are cool.
The West having the Thunder, Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Mavericks, let's call it. That's going to be a good 4 teams battling it out for that.
I want the T-Wolves and to watch Anthony Edwards go to a finals would be pretty cool.
And-
Because he is Michael Jordan.
Anthony Edwards versus the Nuggets.
And I'm
is
watching
gonna
the
be
last
good,
Dance.
good stuff. That is going to be good stuff.
Whoa, dude, the Lakers are winning tonight. That series is not over.
That's over. All right. And that's over for the show. That is 165.
Cheers.
165. Cheers to what Tariq Skubal is doing in the last whatever amount of starts. He is just absolutely
4-0 in
ripping bats. Ripping bats.
Cheers to all the fellow Spartan graduates.
Oh, good one, Alex. That's like Evan's job. Evan normally pulls out the
Yeah.
life events.